Hey guys, it's DBJ. We're still on the Bring Back the Magic, and I'm going to bring up a couple of zero and first level spells for wizards and sorcerers. And as a game master, I pretty much say yes to anything, and especially anything that gives a lot of flavor and texture to character development. And one of the things I love about wizards and sorcerers is having personalized magic. So we're going to take a couple of simple spells and how I, as a player and as a game master, I would say yes on how to make these spells unique. Now, the first one is going to be Mage Armor. Everybody loves that spell, Mage Armor. Mages run around darn near half naked, tripping on their own robes, and you need a defensive spell. And Mage Armor is really popular. But the description of the spell doesn't really give you much on what it would look like. And for me, as long as it doesn't break the rules, you can have as much special effects and as much flair and fluff as you want. So an example would be mage armor with a necromancer. Can you imagine mage armor with a necromancer with the skin turns black and pieces of bone just appear all over the body, and as the spell starts to fade, the bone falls off and turns to dust. You can imagine like a Skeletor kind of look where there's like a helmet and armored plates, but really they look like pieces of bone and backbone and things like that. Hey, Tia. um, or mage armor with a say a dwarven elementalist, and that mage armor looks like stone, and there's like stone plates on his body, and in between the plates you can see the glow of like lava and the earth or things, and there's like gemstones attached to the outside of the stone. It looks really cool, but as the spell fades, it crumbles to the ground and turns to dust. Or how about mage armor for a type of character that's a naturalist? Maybe someone wants to create someone that's a element wizard of nature, but not necessarily a druid. So maybe their mage armor looks like bark and leaves and twines, things like that, all over the body. Okay, but how about another spell like magic missile? Okay, if you got magic missile and you're a necromancer, maybe your magic missile looks like glowing skulls or spirits that are floating around the character and fly towards and strike out at targets. But if you're a dwarven elementalist from the earth, maybe that dwarven elementalist summons up a piece of glowing rock in her hand, and inside of it you can see there's heat and energy, and they toss this rock into the air, and it breaks off and explodes into three or four or five chunks and strikes other targets. Or maybe you have someone's more elemental and druidic, and maybe their spell is a whole lot different. Maybe they reach their hand down towards the ground, and coming out of the ground are roots and twines and leaves and things, and they throw them up in the air, and they fly through the air like spikes or something. You could really describe anything, because really magic missile is just about damage. The special effect really makes no difference. You can have a spell like mage hand or alarm or acid arrow or something like that. And these spells, even though they have, even the name sounds good, acid arrow or something, it doesn't have to be an arrow. Maybe your character spits acid, and maybe he's a sorcerer with a draconic lineage. So maybe in the future there'll be a black dragon, but at first level they don't have any of those things, so maybe they can spit out acid. But then maybe another character, like just take the dwarf for example. Well, the dwarf wants this be able to shoot this acid, and he's going, well, I don't know, it's my character's more related with the earth, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, you throw something at it and it starts to deteriorate away, so maybe the character can create like a spit out like a ball of lava, or they have a ball of lava in their hand, and it has the same game effect as acid. It just doesn't look like acid. um, any spell, you can take any spell like alarm. You set an alarm around the camp. Well, the necromancer's alarm, maybe these spirits come out of the ground and wake everybody up, but maybe the dwarven elementalists, maybe their alarm causes the ground to shake and wakes everybody up. You always find new and important things to do with magic, to bring back that magic into it. The last point I would like to talk about magic is I understand there's magic feats, and some people are very much rules lawyers and want spells to run exactly as they are in the book. But to me, if someone comes up with a very unique way of using a magic spell or effect, I usually say yes, even if it's a temporary effect. An example would be a character wants to is somewhere in the woods, and the other characters are far away, and they want to send up a flare. So, but they don't have the flare spells. They're like, well, see, I got kind of like a light spell, and I've got like a magic missile, and I have like arcane mark. Can I combine those three to shoot a flare up in the sky? That's my arcane mark, and everyone can see it, but it's at a long range. Hell yeah, of course you can do that. Can I threaten? Can my mage wizard character threaten the hobgoblin that we captured? That was a scout, and I want to scare him by making my hand light on fire with my burning hand spell. Well, hell yeah, of course you can. These are little things that are they really in the rules? No, they're not in the rules, but they add a lot of flavor and to allow wizards because honestly, physically they suck. They're not the fastest unless of course you go ahead with the 18 decks because you want the AC bonus, but they have no protection. So especially at lower levels, up to about fifth level, they pretty much get their ass kicked. So you really need to give them a benefit to that. And by the time they become 20th level, they've mastered so many different special effects and spells and learning things and tricks and stuff with me as a game master. Pretty much wizards dominate by that level. First through fifth level really is my sweet spot, and that's where you really learn a lot about characters, about the rules, and about special effects, and creating a lot of interesting fluff and a lot of flavor for characters. And so please bring back that magic. Don't disregard the simple things. Create a living, breathing image for those characters. So when you describe your wizard or your sorcerer, he's completely different and is awesome, even at like a third level. That and everybody else will want to play and be near this character and experience everything that you've created. So thank you very much.